Hello, my name is Grace and welcome to my presentation. And thank you for coming to my presentation. Now let's start. Gender Inequality by Grace Kim in Year 6. What's gender inequality? Gender inequality means that the different behaviors, goals, and needs of women and men are judged, valued, and favored unequally. It means women and men cannot be treated equally, and women's rights, responsibilities, and opportunities will not depend on their own. My central idea is the struggle for women's rights affects women around the world. My lines of inquiry are women's rights and responsibilities, the reason gender inequality exists, and opportunities for women. Women's rights and responsibilities. What's women's rights and responsibilities? Women's rights is the freedom that women have that are protected by the laws. And women's responsibilities is the act that women should do and accept the results of their act. Facts. 130 million girls between the age of 6 to 17 can go to school. Education is the most important thing to focus on gender inequality. Changes that happened in 1995 to 2020. Girls' life expectancy at birth. In 1995, 67.5 years, and now it was 75.2 years. Number of girls out of school in primary, it was 65 million girls, and now it's 32 million girls. In lower secondary, 52 million girls were out of school, and now 30 million girls are out of school. In upper secondary, 91 million girls were out of school, now 67 million girls are out of school. Female youth literacy. 80% of girls aged 15 to 24, and now 90% of girls aged 15 to 24. Child marriage. 1 in 4 girls were married when they were young, and now 1 in 5 girls are married when they were young. And that's so bad. New HIV infections. In 1995, 280,000 of girls aged 10 to 19 couldn't get HIV infections, but now the half of it, 140,000 of girls aged 10 to 19 can't get HIV infections. That's a huge change. What some people did to stop gender inequality. Malala Yousafzai, she's quite famous. She fought hard for girls' education and got Nobel Peace Prize in December 2014. You know what's Nobel Peace Prize is the biggest prize ever. In Nobel Prize, like there's Peace Prize, Chemistry Prize, maybe other things. Gloria Steinem, maybe you don't know who she is, but I'll tell you now. She was a famous feminist movement leader. She won CFDA Board of Directors Tribute, Glamour Lifetime Achievement Award, and Presidential Medal of Freedom. Also, she did some TV programs like Women with Gloria Steinem and The Glorias. What I can do to stop gender inequality is Raise awareness, make a video of me telling the facts and problems about gender inequality and telling people to stop gender inequality. Donate money to poor families who have girls so that they can go to school. The reason gender inequality exists. Religion. In religion, like Islamic, like some Islamic countries, women cannot ride bicycle, and if they don't wear hijab, like they go to jail. And in culture like some African cultures, women have to do all the chores and some houseworks and care for the pets and some of like that. In bias is your thinking from centuries to centuries. So you think like, oh, women have to do some things like chores and men can rest. Okay, that's my decision like that. Misconceptions. In misconceptions and belief, it's almost the same as bias and domestic violence. I found this in really good video. You can go to LOI page and you can watch the video. So domestic violence is violence. So like for example, men thinks like their dinner has to be done when they get home, but it's not done. Then they think it's because of women and they just use violence. And that's domestic violence. And domestic violence causes gender inequality and gender inequality causes domestic violence. And discrimination upon gender. So discrimination is like ignoring someone. So it's simply just ignoring women. And I think that's very, very, very bad. Extremely bad. Opportunities for women. What opportunities exist for women? Opportunities for women provide the chance for a woman to do or try something. But unfortunately, women do not all have the same opportunities. So, like, now, like, we have almost the same opportunities as men, but still in political empowerment. So, like, jobs like laws and some other things like presidents, and women does like almost all presidents are like men, not women. So still we need to work on empowering to political empowerment. Facts. Worldwide, nearly 25% of girls between the age of 15 to 19 are neither employed nor in education or training, compared to only 10% of boys. Worldwide, 70% of those who are living on less than $2 a day, that's really small amount, are women and girls, according to UN Women. Scandinavian countries like Iceland, Norway, Finland, and Sweden are leading the world to close the gender gap. Good job for that, for Iceland, Norway, Finland, and Sweden. Pictures. So working characters, there are working bags, so I think it's about opportunities. And it says 80.5% are male and 19.5% are female. That's so less. That's not good. Totally not. Oh, there are 3 men and 1 woman, and someone is kicking her out. That's making me mad. Okay. Man, I don't identify as a feminist because I support gender equality. But feminism is about gender equality. No, I mean I support real equality, I agree with her. I totally agree with her. Women's rights are human rights. I love that sentence. That's so, it's totally true. Oh, this is so funny. And the earth is so rude. As you can see, she won because if you see the man, he's punched all over his body and he's bleeding and he's so dizzy, he's barely standing. But the earth says the man won, and it's not fair. Okay, in this picture, there's a woman. She's using both of her hands, and one is cooking and one is washing dishes. And she also has to make dinner and do laundry, clean car maybe, and care for the pets. And the men can also share the job. Why should this woman do all that jobs? Now quotes. Okay. Of course you'll know who's Emma Watson. She's really famous actress, and that's my favorite actress. Okay, gender equality historically has been predominantly a women's movement for women, but I think the impact of gender inequality and how it's affecting men hasn't really been addressed. Yeah. My mother always told me, hide your face, people are looking at you. I would reply, it does not matter, I am also looking at them. That's a really good idea. The purpose of feminism is to free the uniqueness of the individual and to understand that inside each of us is a unique human being who is a combination of heredity and environment. From Gloria Steinem. Thank you for listening and watching, and please join my Zoom Q&A session. It's live. Bye bye.